In the silent reaches of the galaxy, where the light from distant stars barely pierced the vast sea of blackness, the exploration ship Aegis Dawn drifted. Captain Elara Voss stood on the command deck, her gaze fixed on the swirling vista of the Milky Way through the viewport. The hum of the ship's engines was a comforting constant, and the faint glimmer of Vega loomed large in the view screen. The Aegis Dawn was no ordinary vessel, an exploration cruiser designed for long-haul missions. It was equipped with the latest in navigation and scientific technology. Its mission? To probe the unknown and seek out signs of extraterrestrial life. A task that had become increasingly urgent as mankind's resources dwindled on Earth. "Captain, we're receiving a signal," announced Kieran, the ship's communications officer. His voice broke the ambient hum, sending a ripple of excitement across the crew. Elara turned, her interest piqued. "From where?" Kieran frowned, studying the holographic interface before him. "From the Vega system. It's a repeating signal, very faint, but definitely artificial." A murmur spread among the crew, each member exchanging glances filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Signals from deep space weren't uncommon, but artificial ones were rare enough to turn heads. Elara leaned over Kieran's shoulder. "Can you enhance it?" "Already on it," he replied, fingers dancing over the controls. The signal, initially a low, intermittent buzz, clarified into a structured pattern. The rhythm was unmistakably intentional. "Language?" asked Dr. Mira Sable, the ship's xenolinguist, who had been drawn by the growing commotion. "Unknown," said Kieran, frustration edging his voice. "It doesn't match anything in our database." Elara knew what was coming next. The thrill of discovery was palpable, and the crew's enthusiasm was infectious. "Plot a course to Vega," she ordered. "Let's find out who's trying to say hello." As the Aegis Dawn altered its course, the crew buzzed with renewed energy. Vega was a beacon in the cosmos. Its light guided them like a lighthouse in a storm. The mystery of the signal tugged at their imaginations, each member spinning theories about who or what might be reaching out across the stars. For days, the ship sailed through the void, the enigmatic signal, now a constant companion. The crew worked tirelessly, each member taking shifts, decoding the message that seemed to whisper secrets from eons past. Then, without warning, the signal fluctuated wildly, its rhythm changing to something more urgent. Mira was the first to notice the shift. "It's like it's responding," she mused, eyes wide with realization. "Responding to what?" Elara asked, her mind racing. "To us," Mira said, "or more specifically, to our presence." The implications were staggering. Elara felt a shiver run down her spine. Then we're not just receiving a message, we're being monitored. The crew's excitement turned to a mix of awe and trepidation. Someone, or something, wasn't just calling out into the void. They were waiting for an answer. Part 2. The Hidden Moon. As the Aegis Dawn pierced deeper into the Vega system, its sensors detected an anomaly. A moon orbiting the second planet, veiled in a dense, shimmering mist that seemed to absorb and refract light in impossible ways. "We found the source of the signal," declared Nico, the ship's chief scientist, his voice tinged with incredulity. "It's emanating from that moon." Elara studied the data feed, her curiosity piqued by the moon's unusual properties. "Prepare for descent," she ordered. "Let's see what's hiding beneath that mist." The ship entered the moon's atmosphere, its shields flaring against the electromagnetic interference. The mist was thicker than they had anticipated, wrapping the vessel in a cocoon of silvery luminescence. As the Aegis Dawn broke through the haze, a breathtaking vista unfolded before them. An ancient city sprawled beneath the mist, its architecture unlike anything they had seen. Towering spires twined with ethereal vines, and crystalline structures shimmered in the diffuse light. "That's impossible," Mira breathed, her voice a mix of awe and disbelief. "It's like the city is alive." The crew was entranced, each member glued to their stations as they scanned the alien metropolis. There was no sign of life, yet the city seemed to pulse with a rhythmic energy, mirroring the signal they had followed across light years. "We need to find the signal's point of origin," Elara said, breaking the spell. "And if we're lucky, we might just find whoever, or whatever, built this place." As the Aegis Dawn maneuvered through the city's winding avenues, the crew marveled at the intricate carvings that adorned every surface, depicting scenes of a society lost to time. It was as if the city itself was a vast library, recording the history and achievements of its creators. The ship settled near the city's center, in front of a massive structure that dwarfed all others. A colossal pyramid crowned with a crystal apex that glowed with an inner radiance. The signal was strongest here, a persistent hum that resonated through the hull like a heartbeat. "Looks like we found the source," Kieran said, his excitement barely contained. Elara nodded, the weight of discovery heavy on her shoulders. "Let's suit up. We're going in." As they disembarked, the atmosphere of the city enveloped them, a gentle, almost imperceptible breeze that carried with it the scent of ozone and ancient knowledge. The pyramid loomed before them, its facade inscribed with symbols that seemed to shift and change under their scrutiny. Mira studied the glyphs, her eyes wide with fascination. "These carvings, they tell a story, a kind of warning." "What sort of warning?" Elara asked, her instincts on high alert. "Something about a great purpose, a cycle that must not be interrupted," Mira replied, her voice tinged with awe. As they approached the pyramid's entrance, the signal intensified, thrumming through their bodies like an electric current. The door opened with a sound like a whisper, revealing a vast chamber, bathed in a soft, pulsating light. In the center of the chamber rested a crystalline obelisk, its surface alive with flowing patterns of light. The source of the signal, a beacon that had called out across the cosmos. Elara stepped forward, her heart pounding with anticipation. "Let's find out what this thing has to say." As she reached out to touch the obelisk, the chamber was flooded with a blinding light. Visions cascaded through their minds, scenes of alien landscapes, visions of societies rising and falling, all centered around a single, unifying purpose. The obelisk was more than just a transmitter. It was a repository of knowledge, a custodian of an ancient civilization's legacy, and it had chosen them as its latest recipients. But just as they began to grasp the enormity of what they had found, the visions shifted, revealing a darker truth, a warning of an impending cycle of destruction that could consume not only this lost civilization, but the entire galaxy. And then, without warning, the signal abruptly ceased, leaving them in a silence that felt as heavy as the void itself. Chapter 3. Echoes in Darkness. The sudden absence of the signal was jarring. The crew stood in the chamber, disoriented and speechless, their minds still reeling from the torrent of images and emotions. "What just happened?" Kieran asked, breaking the silence that enveloped them. Elara shook her head, trying to piece together the fragments of the vision. "I'm not sure. It felt like a message, a warning about something catastrophic. But what did it mean by a cycle?" Mira pondered, her brow furrowed with concern. "And why show it to us?" The obelisk, now dim and inert, offered no answers. They were alone once more in the alien city. the weight of newfound knowledge pressing heavily on their shoulders. "We need to report back to the ship," Elara decided, her voice steady despite the turmoil in her mind. "Maybe there are clues in the data we've gathered." As they made their way back to the Aegis Dawn, a sense of unease settled over the crew. The city, once a marvel of alien ingenuity, now felt ominously quiet, as if holding its breath for what was to come. Back on the ship, they pored over the data, searching for any insight into the obelisk's message. The holographic displays flickered with streams of information, but the answers remained elusive. Then, a breakthrough. Nico discovered an anomaly in the data, a hidden layer beneath the main signal, encrypted with a complex code that required both mathematical and linguistic expertise to decipher. As the crew worked tirelessly to unravel the hidden message, Elara's mind kept returning to the vision of the impending cycle. What could threaten an entire civilization? And why had they included Earth in their warning? Finally, after hours of painstaking decryption, the hidden layer yielded its secrets. The message was a dire one, a prophecy of an ancient cosmic event, a gravitational anomaly that periodically reset the fabric of certain parts of the galaxy. Anomaly? What kind of anomaly? Elara asked, her voice taut with tension. Think of it like a galactic reset button, Nico explained, his expression grave. Something that wipes out entire civilizations and ecosystems, forcing them to start anew. The implications were staggering. The obelisk's creators had been warning them about a natural catastrophe of unimaginable scale, one that could erase everything they had ever known. "But why us?" Kieran asked, his voice tinged with desperation. "Why show us something we can't stop?" Mira looked up from her terminal, understanding the dawning in her eyes. Maybe it's not about stopping it. Maybe it's about preserving knowledge, ensuring that the next cycle has a chance to learn from the past. The crew sat in stunned silence, the weight of their discovery hanging heavy in the air. They were not just explorers, but custodians of a legacy that transcended time and space. As they debated their next move, the Aegis Dawn's sensors detected an approaching vessel. The ship's automatic systems sprang to life, alerting the crew to the intrusion. Elara snapped into action, her instincts honed by years of command. "Battle stations. Let's find out who our uninvited guests are." The approaching ship was sleek and menacing, its design unlike anything the crew had encountered. It bore no insignia, no identifying marks, only a predatory grace that spoke of advanced technology and intent. "Unknown ship. This is Captain Elara Voss of the Aegis Dawn. State your purpose," she hailed, her voice steady despite the growing tension. The response was immediate and unexpected. A deep, resonant voice filled the bridge, laced with an authority that commanded attention. "Captain Voss, we are the keepers of the cycle. Your presence here has not gone unnoticed." The crew exchanged bewildered glances. The keepers of the cycle were the stuff of legend, a secretive order rumored to span the stars, guardians of the cosmic balance. "We mean no harm," Elara replied cautiously. "We're here to learn, to understand," the voice returned, this time tinged with an edge of warning. "Knowledge comes with a price, Captain. Are you prepared to pay it?" Elara hesitated, the enormity of their situation sinking in. But there was no turning back now, not when they were on the brink of understanding a truth that had eluded humanity for millennia. "We're prepared." The alien vessel drew closer, its presence a looming shadow against the starlit sky. Whatever the keepers intended, the crew of the Aegis Dawn would soon find out. So, Part 4, The Guardian's Gambit. The alien ship docked with the Aegis Dawn, and the crew braced themselves for the unexpected. The tension was palpable, a silence broken only by the distant hum of the ship's engines. Elara led her team to the airlock, determination etched on her features. This was a meeting that could alter the fate of civilizations, and she was resolved to see it through. When the airlock cycled open, a figure stepped through, their appearance as enigmatic as their voice had been. Clad in shimmering robes that seemed to blend with the surrounding light, the alien exuded an aura of timeless wisdom. "I am Chiron, a guardian of the cycle," the newcomer intoned, their voice resonating with a melodic cadence. "Your presence here is both a boon and a burden." Elara inclined her head in acknowledgement. "We seek to understand the message we received and its implications." Chiron regarded her with eyes that seemed to hold the knowledge of centuries. "The cycle is a constant in the universe, a force that shapes the destinies of countless worlds. It is not easily altered, nor should it be." "Then why show us?" Mira asked, her curiosity unquenchable. "Why give us this knowledge if we can't change anything?" Chiron's expression softened, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of their lips. "Because knowledge is never wasted. It is a spark that ignites possibility, a seed that can flourish in ways unforeseen." The Guardian gestured, and a holographic display materialized between them, depicting swirling galaxies and cosmic phenomena. "The cycle is approaching a critical juncture, one that could disrupt the balance if left unchecked." Elara studied the display, her mind racing to grasp the enormity of what was unfolding. "What must we do?" Chiron's gaze intensified, their words imbued with urgency. "A nexus lies at the heart of the cycle, an anomaly that can be influenced. You must guide its path, ensuring that the reset, if inevitable, allows for continuity rather than oblivion." The crew exchanged looks, the gravity of their task dawning on them. They were being asked to play a role in the cosmic order, to steer the course of events that could ripple across the galaxy. "But how?" Kirin asked. "Why can't we do something about the anomaly that can be influenced instead of oblivion?" "So," Elara inclined her head in acknowledgement, and dawn-inspired instructions invited back by Chiron. "And you must guide its path, ensuring that the reset, if inevitable, allows for continuity rather than oblivion." The weight of their mission seeming to deepen the shadows in the chamber. The nexus is an intersection of energies, a confluence where the forces of the universe converge. It is here that the cycle's influence is most potent, and it is where you must focus your efforts. "But where is this nexus?" Elara inquired, her thoughts racing with the implications of such a cosmic focal point. Chiron extended their hand, and the holographic display transformed, zooming in on a region of space that pulsed with dynamic energy. A cluster of stars lay at its heart, surrounded by swirling nebulae that shone with ethereal light. The nexus is located within the Axion cluster, a region known for its unpredictable gravitational phenomena. The crew gathered closer, captivated by the dancing stars and vibrant colors. "This is not merely a physical journey," Chiron warned, "but a journey of the spirit. You must attune to the energies of the nexus. Let them guide you in your task. The forces there can be temperamental, resistant to manipulation. We'll need to prepare, recalibrate our systems for these conditions," Nico said, already mentally cataloging the modifications needed to shield the Aegis Dawn from the region's gravitational extremes. "And we won't be alone," Elara noted, understanding that the task would require every skill and ounce of intuition they could muster. She turned to Chiron. "What is the role of the keepers in this?" Chiron's gaze softened, their voice resonating with a deep sense of purpose. "We are observers and guides, ensuring that the cycle remains unbroken."
The knowledge you possess can influence the outcome, tipping the balance towards renewal rather than destruction. But this is a decision that rests with you, the inheritors of knowledge. The air was thick with expectation, a silent agreement passing between the crew and the Guardian. They were entrusted with a momentous responsibility, one that transcended their initial mission and opened a path to a destiny unimagined. As the holographic display faded, Chiron turned to leave, their presence a lingering echo of cosmic harmony. Know this, Captain Voss, the path you walk is fraught with uncertainty, but it is one illuminated by the light of understanding. Trust in yourselves, and you will find the way. With that, Chiron departed, leaving the crew in contemplative silence. The weight of their mission loomed large, yet an ember of resolve burned brightly within them.
Part 5. The Axion Cluster. The journey to the Axion Cluster was a voyage into the unknown. The Aegis Dawn, navigating the currents of space with a newfound sense of purpose. The crew worked tirelessly, adapting the ship's systems to withstand the gravitational fluctuations that lay ahead. Within the confines of their vessel, camaraderie flourished, a shared dedication to their singular goal. As they neared the cluster, the ship's sensors became inundated with data, a symphony of cosmic forces playing out in intricate harmonies. The stars here seemed alive, dancing in rhythmic patterns that defied all terrestrial logic. Entering the periphery of the Axion Cluster, Nico announced, his hands deftly navigating the ship through gravitational waves that rolled like the sea. Elara sat in the command chair, a steady calmness in her demeanor as she observed the ethereal beauty that unfolded before them. A vast nebula, vivid with hues of violet and emerald, swirled in the distance, a cosmic tapestry woven from the very fabric of the universe. Kieran, keep an eye on those flux readings, she instructed. We don't want to be caught off guard by any sudden shifts. Roger that, Kieran replied. He monitored the data intently, fingers hovering over controls, ready to react to the slightest change. As they delved deeper into the cluster, Elara felt a strange resonance within her, a subtle attunement to the energies that pulsated through the region. It was as if the space around them was communicating, guiding them along an invisible path towards the nexus. Captain, Mira called out, breaking her reverie. I'm picking up something extraordinary. Elara turned to the xenolinguist, who had been tasked with translating the cosmic symphony into terms they could understand. What is it? Mira's eyes danced with intrigue as she gestured to the display. These frequencies, they're similar to the signal we received from the obelisk. It's as if the entire cluster is part of a grand orchestra, each star contributing to the music. The realization dawned on Elara that the Axion Cluster wasn't just a location. It was a living entity, a harmonious convergence of cosmic frequencies that formed the heart of the cycle they sought to influence. The Aegis Dawn continued its approach, the gravitational waves growing more pronounced as they neared the nexus. The crew worked in concert, their focus united by the urgency of their mission. Finally, they reached the heart of the cluster, a region where the stars coalesced into a brilliant halo, surrounding an unseen point of power that pulsated with a rhythm that resonated through their very being. This is it, Elara declared, her voice filled with awe. This is where we make our stand. The crew gathered around the command center, drawing strength from each other as they prepared to confront the nexus. Together, they would find a way to channel the energies, to guide the cycle towards a future of renewal and hope. Part 6. The Dance of the Nexus. In the Nexus, time seemed to slow, each moment stretched like the strands of a cosmic web. The ship floated in a sea of starlight, the engines humming in tune with the celestial symphony that enveloped them. Elara felt the energies of the Nexus flow through her, vibrant and alive. With each breath, she absorbed the rhythm,
attuning her senses to the cycle's intricate dance. "We're tapping into the heart of the cycle," she said softly, her words a prayer to the universe itself. Nico, ever the scientist, adjusted the ship's instruments to harmonize with the frequencies that radiated from the Nexus. "We're integrating," he confirmed. "The ship's systems are resonating with the cycle's energies." Mira stood beside Elara, her eyes closed in concentration as she deciphered the unspoken language of the cluster. "The Nexus is beckoning us, inviting us to guide its course." The crew's minds were aligned, each member contributing their unique talents to the collective effort. Elara felt the ship's presence as an extension of her own, a canvas upon which they could paint their intentions. The Nexus throbbed with potential, a point of convergence where choice and chance intertwined. Elara focused her thoughts, envisioning a cycle that nurtured growth, a future where the lessons of the past were woven into the fabric of what was to come. The stars seemed to respond, their light flickering with renewed vibrancy as the Nexus absorbed their intention. The energies shifted, transforming from chaotic whirlwinds to harmonious streams that flowed through the cluster like rivers of light. The transformation was subtle, yet profound, a change that resonated through the cosmos, echoing across the stars. The crew watched in awe as the Nexus's glow intensified, a beacon of hope shining against the darkness. As the cycle continued its celestial dance, Elara knew their mission was complete. They had woven their intentions into the fabric of the universe, ensuring that the cycle's reset would be one of renewal rather than obliteration. In the quiet aftermath, the crew stood together, their hearts filled with a sense of accomplishment. They had been entrusted with a monumental task, and they had risen to meet it with courage and conviction. The Aegis Dawn drifted away from the Nexus, the energies of the cluster receding as they returned to the familiar currents of space. They carried with them the knowledge of the cycle, a legacy that would guide them and all who followed toward a future where understanding and unity prevailed. As the ship set course for home, Elara reflected on their journey. They had encountered wonders beyond imagination, faced challenges that tested their very essence, and emerged as custodians of a truth that spanned the cosmos. The stars beckoned once more, their light shining brightly in the vast expanse. The Aegis Dawn sailed onward, a beacon of hope and discovery in a universe filled with infinite possibilities. The Celestial Garden. With the mission's success still resonating in their hearts, the Aegis Dawn glided through the void, the crew enjoying a rare moment of respite. The stars seemed more vibrant, their light a comforting presence that enveloped the ship as it charted a course through the vast tapestry of space. As they journeyed away from the Axion cluster, the ship's sensors picked up an anomaly, a subtle yet intriguing energy signature that beckoned curiosity. The display flickered to life, revealing a nearby planet shrouded in swirling clouds of iridescent gases. "Captain, there's something remarkable about that planet," Nico noted, studying the sensor data with keen interest. "The readings suggest a unique atmospheric composition, one that supports a spectrum of bioluminescent life." Elara felt the familiar stir of exploration calling to her, the promise of discovery igniting her spirit. "Let's investigate. We could all use a chance to stretch our legs and see what wonders this planet holds." The Aegis Dawn descended through the planet's atmosphere, the hull shimmering as it passed through layers of mist that glowed with an inner light. As the ship broke through the clouds, an extraordinary landscape unfolded below, a vibrant tapestry of luminous flora that pulsed with rhythmic hues under a twilight sky. The crew disembarked,
stepping onto soft, verdant ground that seemed to cradle their every step. The air was rich and fragrant, infused with scents that defied description, yet felt intimately familiar. As they explored, they encountered a myriad of alien plants whose bioluminescence created a shifting kaleidoscope of colors. Towering trees, their trunks encased in spirals of shimmering vines, reached towards the heavens. Flowers bloomed with patterns that danced like flickering stars, responding to their presence with a gentle swaying. "Look at this," Mira exclaimed, her voice filled with wonder as she crouched to examine a cluster of blooms. "It's like the entire ecosystem is in harmony, each element contributing to the vibrancy of the whole." Elara wandered further, drawn by a gentle melody that floated on the breeze, a sound more felt than heard, like the hymn of the planet itself. As she followed the music, she stumbled upon a clearing bathed in soft golden light. There in the center stood an ethereal being, a creature of grace and luminescence, its form shifting between solidity and translucence in seamless fluidity. The creature regarded Elara with eyes that glittered like twin stars, its presence exuding a sense of ancient wisdom. "You are the first to walk our garden in many cycles," the being's voice echoed, resonating within Elara's mind as much as through the air. "Welcome, travelers of the stars." Elara marveled at the being's elegance, its every movement fluid like the currents of a gentle stream. "Thank you for allowing us to visit your world," she said softly, feeling a profound connection to the planet's spirit. The being inclined its head, and Elara sensed a deep joy in its ethereal song. "It is we who must thank you, for you carry the light of understanding. Your actions have set a path of renewal into motion." The creature gestured with a graceful sweep of its hand, and images formed in the air. Visions of the Axion cluster, the cycle they had influenced, and the promise of new beginnings. "The universe is a garden, ever evolving. Your choices have sown seeds that will bloom across the stars." As Elara absorbed the vision, a profound sense of peace filled her being. She understood that their mission was but a step in a journey that transcended the confines of this single world, a journey woven into the cosmic tapestry of life itself. The connection between the crew and the planet deepened, a silent communion shared through gestures and glances that transcended language. The crew explored further, each discovery a revelation that enriched their understanding of the universe's intricacies. As twilight deepened into night, the garden transformed into a sea of luminous constellations, each plant and creature a star in its own right. The crew gathered around a gentle spring that bubbled with serene music, their spirits intertwined with the heartbeat of the planet. In that moment, Elara realized that their journey was not simply one of exploration, but of becoming part of the greater whole, a single note in the universe's grand symphony. As they prepared to depart, the celestial being approached once more, its form a beacon of light against the darkened sky. "May your paths be guided by harmony and wisdom," it intoned softly, its voice a gentle caress. Elara nodded, her heart full. "Thank you for sharing your world with us." The Aegis Dawn rose into the sky, leaving the luminous garden behind as a cherished memory. The crew watched as the planet receded into the distance, a jewel in the infinite vastness of space. As they sailed onward, Elara felt a profound sense of unity, a connection to the stars, to the life they had encountered, and to the cycle they were now part of. The universe was a garden, ever growing and changing, and the crew of the Aegis Dawn would continue their journey, seeking out new wonders, guided by the light of understanding and the harmony of the cosmos.
Part 8. Symphony of the Celestial Forge. As the Aegis Dawn continued its serene voyage through the star-studded tapestry of space, the crew settled into a rhythm that breathed with the pulse of the universe itself. Their journey had become not just exploration, but a pilgrimage of understanding, a harmonious dance with the cosmos. One evening, as the ship sailed through the silent sea of stars, the crew detected a new phenomenon, a vast cloud of cosmic dust, swirling like a galactic forge, its edges glimmering with iridescent sparks. The dust formed intricate patterns as it moved, as if tracing the invisible lines of a celestial blueprint. "We're approaching a stellar nursery," Nico said, awe in his voice. "This is where stars are born." The phenomenon was both majestic and tranquil, a reminder of the continual birth and rebirth that defined the universe. Elara felt drawn to the forge, a sense of wonder kindling within her at the thought of witnessing creation firsthand. "Let's enter the cloud," Elara decided, her eyes bright with excitement. "I want to see how stars come to life." As the Aegis Dawn gently glided into the heart of the stellar forge, the view screen filled with a mesmerizing display of color and motion. Particles of dust and gas swirled around them, coalescing into the embryonic forms of nascent stars, their glow soft and embryonic. Mira watched in fascination, her fingers tracing the lines of light as they danced across her console. "It's like watching the universe weave its own tapestry," she murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. Then, amidst the swirling chaos, they noticed something unexpected, a structure nestled within the cloud, its surface gleaming like polished onyx. It appeared both ancient and timeless, an artifact adrift in the cradle of new beginnings. "Is that some kind of ship?" Kieran asked, his brow furrowed with curiosity as he enhanced the image. "I've never seen anything like it." "It doesn't match any known design," Nico confirmed, examining the readings. "It's as if it's been here for millennia, hidden within the forge." Elara felt a thrill of discovery, the allure of the unknown calling to her. "Let's investigate," she said, making the decision to approach the enigmatic structure. As the Aegis Dawn edged closer, the ship's lights illuminated the vessel, revealing intricate etchings that adorned its dark hull. The designs were reminiscent of a language, flowing gracefully along the surface like a silent hymn etched in stone. The crew donned their suits and prepared to board, eager to uncover the secrets held within the ancient vessel. The airlock cycled open, and they stepped into the stillness of the ship, each footfall echoing softly through the corridors. The interior was a marvel of engineering, a harmonious blend of form and function, every corner and curve designed with purpose. As they explored, they discovered panels that glowed with a gentle luminescence, illuminating the path ahead. In the heart of the ship, they found a chamber filled with knowledge, holographic displays suspended in the air like constellations, projecting images of stars and galaxies, their light mingling with the soft glow of the room. "It's a repository," Mira said, captivated by the wealth of information that surrounded them. "A library of the cosmos." Elara approached one of the projections, a star chart that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the universe. As her hand brushed the display, it shifted, revealing layers of data that cascaded like falling stars. "These are records of star formations, planetary systems, and cosmological events," Nico observed, his voice tinged with reverence. "It's an archive of the universe's history." The crew explored the repository, each member delving into the holographic displays, uncovering the stories of worlds that had come and gone, civilizations that had risen and fallen, and the cycles of creation and destruction that governed the cosmos. As they absorbed the knowledge,
They encountered a simulacrum, an artificial intelligence housed within the ship. Its form, a shimmering presence that shifted like starlight. "I am Sapphire," the simulacrum introduced itself, its voice resonant with a gentle authority. "Guardian of the celestial forge and keeper of the star's song." "Sapphire, we are explorers," Elara said, addressing the entity with respect. "We seek to understand the wonders of the universe." The simulacrum regarded them with a gaze that seemed to see beyond the surface, acknowledging their quest. "You walk a path of light and knowledge. The forge is a place of beginnings, where the music of the cosmos finds form." Elara sensed an opportunity to learn from this ancient intelligence, and she asked, "What can you tell us about the cycles we've witnessed, the nexus of renewal?" Sapphire's form shimmered, projecting images of stellar nurseries, supernova, and the cosmic dance that unfolded across eons. "The universe is a tapestry, woven from the strands of time and energy. Each cycle is a note in the grand symphony, a chance for renewal that echoes through the stars." The crew listened in rapt silence, the simulacrum's words a melody that resonated with their own experiences. They understood that their journey was part of a greater harmony, a thread in the cosmic weave that connected all things. As their time in the stellar forge drew to a close, Sapphire imparted a final gift, a star chart that highlighted regions of the galaxy bound by the cycle's influence, places where their journey might continue, where the balance of creation and destruction played out. With gratitude in their hearts, the crew bid farewell to Sapphire and the ancient vessel, returning to the Aegis Dawn with their minds enriched and their mission renewed. As they sailed away from the forge, Elara felt the potential of their journey expand, like the birth of a new star in the galaxy's embrace. The universe was a symphony, a celestial garden where life flourished and knowledge blossomed, and the crew of the Aegis Dawn was ready to continue their exploration, guided by the stars and the harmonious melody of the cosmos. Chapter Part 9: The Echoes of Yathara. As the Aegis Dawn continued its celestial voyage, the ship drifted into a new sector of the galaxy, where the fabric of space shimmered with a subtle iridescence. The crew marveled at the phenomenon, their hearts open to the mysteries that awaited them in the vast expanse. One morning, as the ship glided silently through the cosmos, the sensors detected a peculiar resonance emanating from a nearby moon. Unlike any signal they had encountered, it was a harmonic vibration that sang through the hull, a gentle lullaby in the starry silence. "There's something different about this moon," Kieran noted, adjusting the sensors to analyze the source of the melody. "It's almost as if it's alive, like a celestial instrument." The moon appeared ordinary at first glance, a rocky body orbiting a gas giant, its surface dotted with crystalline formations that glinted in the starlight. Yet, as the Aegis Dawn drew closer, the resonance grew stronger, enveloping the crew in its soothing embrace. Elara felt an instinctual pull, a connection to the moon's song that beckoned them to explore its hidden depths. "Let's land and see what secrets this place holds," she decided, her voice filled with quiet determination. As the ship descended, the crew gazed in wonder at the landscape below, a panorama of shimmering crystals that refracted light into rainbows, creating a kaleidoscope of color that danced across the terrain. The ship touched down gently, and the crew disembarked onto a surface that seemed to hum beneath their feet, the resonance, now a tangible presence that vibrated through their bones.
The crystalline structures were unlike anything they had encountered. Their forms delicate, yet strong, each a unique facet in the moon's harmonic design. Mira ran her fingers over the nearest formation, her eyes wide with appreciation for the intricate beauty before her. "This moon is like a living symphony," she observed, her voice filled with awe. Each crystal a note, each formation a chord. As they ventured deeper into the moon's interior, they discovered a series of caverns, their walls lined with the same crystalline formations that dominated the surface. The air inside was cool and still, filled with the gentle echoes of the moon's psalm, a melody that resonated with the rhythm of the universe. In the largest cavern, they encountered a figure, a being of resplendent light, its form an ethereal blend of crystal and luminescence. It regarded them with eyes that shimmered like precious gems, its presence both serene and commanding. "Welcome, travelers." The being's voice resonated, a harmonious blend of tones that filled the cavern with warmth. "I am Yathara, keeper of the moon's song." Elara inclined her head in respect, sensing the depth of wisdom within the being before them. "Thank you for welcoming us, Yathara. Your world is a wonder." Yathara's light pulsed gently, a gesture of acknowledgement and gratitude. "You are attuned to the harmony of the stars, seekers of truth and understanding. It is rare to encounter those who listen with such clarity." The crew gathered around Yathara, each member drawn in by the being's presence and the melody that infused the air. As they conversed, Yathara shared tales of the moon's history, a story of creation and transformation, of a celestial instrument crafted by the cosmos itself. "This moon is a nexus of resonance," Yathara explained, its voice a gentle symphony. "It converts the energies of the universe into music, a song that echoes through the stars, carrying messages of peace and unity." Elara felt a deep sense of purpose resonate within her, the realization that their journey had led them to yet another facet of the universe's grand design. "Your song is a gift, one that connects us all." Yathara nodded, its form a glowing constellation of light. "Indeed, the music of the stars binds us, a reminder that we are all part of the same cosmic melody." As the crew listened, they began to perceive the song's nuances, the subtle shifts and harmonies that spoke of life and love, of cycles and connections that transcended time and space. Mira, inspired by the moon's symphony, began to hum, softly, her voice blending with the melody around them. The crew joined in, their voices a chorus that resonated with the moon's song, a spontaneous collaboration that filled the cavern with harmonious sound. In that moment, the boundaries between them and the universe dissolved, and they became one with the symphony of the cosmos, a part of the music that flowed through the moon and beyond, a note in the eternal song of creation. When their time on the moon drew to a close, Yathara bestowed upon them a parting gift, a crystal from the moon's heart, a tangible reminder of their encounter. "Carry this with you on your journey," Yathara intoned, its voice a gentle caress. "Let it resonate with the harmony you have found here." With gratitude in their hearts, the crew returned to the Aegis Dawn, the crystal a beacon of light and song that would accompany them as they continued their voyage through the stars. As they departed from the moon, the melody lingered in their minds, a lullaby that would guide them through the vast tapestry of the universe. The crew of the Aegis Dawn set their course for new horizons, their spirits renewed by the echoes of Yathara, ready to embrace whatever wonders awaited them in the galaxy's embrace. Chapter 10. The Herald of Dreams. The Aegis Dawn drifted onward, cradled by the starry depths of the galaxy. Each day aboard the ship was a new verse in their cosmic journey, a seamless blend of discovery and contemplation that filled the crew with a profound sense of purpose. As they traversed the endless sea of stars, the ship's sensors picked up an unusual anomaly, a faint, irregular pulse emanating from an isolated region of space. The signal was unlike any they had previously encountered, its rhythm erratic yet somehow comforting, like the heartbeat of an ancient sleeper. Intrigued, the crew set course toward the anomaly, curiosity driving them to unveil the mysteries that lay beyond the familiar. As they drew closer, the source of the signal became apparent, a solitary station suspended in the void, its design elegant and minimalist, like a sculptor's dream brought to life in metal and light. "That's the source of the signal," Kieran confirmed, studying the structure with a mixture of awe and anticipation. "The station appears to be dormant, yet it's still broadcasting." Elara gazed at the station, its sleek lines and luminescent surfaces, a testament to an advanced architecture. "Let's dock and see if we can learn more." As the Aegis Dawn approached, the station responded with a sequence of soft, welcoming lights that guided them to a docking bay. The ship settled into place with a gentle hum, and the crew prepared to venture into the unknown. The interior of the station was a masterpiece of design, curved corridors that seemed to flow organically, each space illuminated by a soft, ambient glow. The atmosphere was serene, imbued with a sense of timelessness that wrapped around the crew like a comforting embrace. As they explored, they encountered a central chamber, its walls adorned with intricate mosaics that depicted celestial landscapes and vibrant constellations. In the center stood a pedestal, upon which rested an orb that glowed with a gentle, ethereal light. Approaching the orb, Elara felt a subtle shift in the air, a presence both inviting and wise. As she reached out, the orb activated, projecting a holographic image into the air. The figure that appeared was both familiar and foreign, a being composed of light and shadow, its form constantly shifting, like the dreams of a slumbering giant. "Welcome, travelers," the being intoned, its voice a melodic whisper that resonated through the chamber. "I am Solara, herald of the dreaming." The crew exchanged intrigued glances, enchanted by the being's ethereal presence. "What is the dreaming?" Mira asked, captivated by the holographic display. "The dreaming is a realm of thought and possibility," Solara explained, its form flickering with celestial light. "It exists beyond time and space, a tapestry woven from the dreams of every being in the universe." Elara felt a sense of wonder resonate within her, the concept of such a realm stirring her imagination. "Why have you brought us here?" Solara's gaze seemed to pierce the veil of reality, understanding reflected in its shimmering eyes. "You carry the seeds of dreams within you, seeds that have the power to shape the future. The station is an observatory, a place where dreams coalesce and manifest into reality." As the crew absorbed this revelation, Solara gestured toward the mosaics, each image now alive with motion, depicting visions of worlds yet to be, of futures bound by possibility and hope. The crew watched in awe, each tableau resonating with the dreams they held in their hearts, dreams of discovery, of unity, of cosmic harmony that spanned the stars. "You are dreamers," Solara said, its voice a gentle harmony. "Through your exploration, you touch the fabric of the dreaming, shaping it with your thoughts and actions."
The station is a conduit, amplifying your dreams and casting them into the universe. Elara felt a deep connection to the station, to the dreams that flowed through its core like a river of light. She understood that their journey was part of a greater narrative, a story written in the stars and carried forth by every soul that dared to dream. As the crew spent time within the station, they found themselves rejuvenated, their spirits bolstered by the visions of hope and possibility that surrounded them. Each member connected with their personal dreams,
their collective aspirations intertwining to form a harmonious symphony. Before their departure, Solara bestowed upon them a parting gift, a shard of the dreaming, a luminous crystal that pulsed with potential and promise. "Carry this with you," Solara intoned softly. "Let it remind you of the dreams you hold and the power to shape the future." With gratitude in their hearts, the crew returned to the Aegis Dawn, the crystal a beacon of hope that would guide them as they continued their journey through the stars. As they set course for new horizons, Elara knew that the universe was a vast canvas, waiting to be painted with the colors of dreams. The crew of the Aegis Dawn was ready to embrace the unknown, their path illuminated by the light of the dreaming, and their hearts filled with the promise of what could be.
Chapter 11. The Luminescent Tides. The Aegis Dawn ventured further into the cosmic ocean, where stars shimmered like distant lighthouses. Each new sector of the galaxy offered its own mysteries, its own whisper of adventures yet to unfold. One serene evening, as the ship floated through the ethereal void, the crew's attention was drawn to a breathtaking spectacle. A vast expanse, where the interstellar medium shimmered with cascades of light, like the auroras of 1,000 worlds merging into one. Nico monitored the ship's sensors with renewed interest. "This region is known as the luminescent tides," he explained, awe in his voice. "A rare phenomenon where charged particles and cosmic rays interact with the surrounding nebulae, creating waves of luminescence." The crew watched in wonder as the tides rolled across the heavens, their light a gentle caress that danced over the ship's hull. The colors ebbed and flowed, blending in a mesmerizing ballet that seemed to echo the heartbeat of the universe itself. Elara stood at the observation deck, her gaze transfixed by the celestial display. It was as if they had sailed into a dream, where time and space dissolved into the beauty of the moment. "Let's take some time to explore," Elara suggested, her voice serene. There might be more to these tides than meets the eye. The Aegis Dawn cruised through the luminescent waves, the crew immersed in the radiance that painted everything in surreal hues. As they journeyed deeper into the phenomenon, the sensors picked up a faint signal, a rhythmic pattern that mirrored the tides themselves. "It's as if the tides are singing," Mira observed, her fingers dancing over the console. "A cosmic melody that's waiting to be understood." Guided by the signal, the crew traced its source to the heart of the tides, where the light intensified into a resplendent glow. There, suspended amidst the celestial currents, they discovered a structure unlike any other, a colossal sphere of intertwined light and matter, pulsating in harmony with the tides. The crew donned their suits, eager to unravel the mystery of the sphere. As they approached, they felt a gentle pull, as if the tides themselves were guiding them toward the heart of the phenomenon. Inside the sphere, they found themselves in a vast chamber, the walls alive with cascading light that flowed like liquid crystal. The air was imbued with a soothing energy, resonating with a melody that seemed to speak directly to their souls. In the center of the chamber stood a gathering of beings, ethereal figures formed from the very light of the tides. Their presence was calming, their forms shifting fluidly within the luminous currents. One of the beings, radiant with an inner glow, stepped forward. "Welcome, travelers of the tides," it spoke, its voice a gentle symphony that filled the chamber with warmth. "I am Lyra, a keeper of the luminescent tides." Elara bowed slightly, respect and curiosity in her eyes. "Thank you for welcoming us, Lyra. Your world is extraordinary." Lyra's form shimmered with what seemed like a smile. "The tides are a living tapestry, a dance of energies that connect the cosmos.
We are the custodians of this symphony, nurturing its balance and harmony. The crew listened intently, their appreciation for the phenomenon deepening with every word. They understood that the tides were more than just a spectacle. They were a vital part of the cosmic symphony that united all things. As they conversed, Lyra invited the crew to partake in a unique experience. With a gentle gesture, Lyra extended a tendril of light toward each of them, inviting them to join the dance of the tides. Elara hesitated briefly, then reached out to accept the invitation. Her hand enveloped in the warm embrace of light.
Instantly, she was immersed in a vision, a vibrant dreamscape where the universe unfolded in waves of color and music, a tapestry woven from the dreams of countless worlds. The crew found themselves floating in this shared dream, their minds united with the tides. They experienced the ebb and flow of cosmic cycles, the birth and death of stars, and the harmony that bound the cosmos together. In that transcendent moment, they understood the unity of all things, a oneness that transcended the boundaries of time and space, a connection that was both profound and eternal. When the vision subsided, they returned to the chamber, their hearts filled with a newfound appreciation for the beauty and majesty of the universe. "Your journey is one of harmony," Lyra said, her voice a soft chord that echoed their experience. "May the tides guide you and illuminate your path wherever it may lead." With gratitude and awe, the crew bid farewell to Lyra and the custodians of the luminescent tides, their spirits enriched by the encounter. As the Aegis Dawn departed from the sphere, the luminescent waves continued their eternal dance, the melody of the tides lingering in their hearts as a reminder of the intricate connections that wove the fabric of the universe. Guided by the tides, the crew set their course for new horizons, ready to embrace the wonders that awaited them beyond the light of the luminescent tides, their journey a melody of exploration and discovery composed across the infinite expanse.